story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant. In every shade and room. For every heart and every hand. We've got something for you. Now everybody, let's say hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, plant. Welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant. And every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand. We've got something for you, just for you. In the morning sun, where the flowers bloom, colors burst like a painter's dream come true. Roses red and violets blue, every petal whispers something new. From tiny seeds to trees so grand, every leaf and bird, it's all at hand. Hello, hello, plant. Welcome to the show, where every flower tells a story. Watch them grow. Hello, hello, plant. In every shade and hue, for every heart and every hand.
Give me this.
Okay. Okay, 3, 2, 3.
Hello, hello. Welcome to our Grower Direct flash sale. And what it's all about today, we've gone out to the growers, and I actually think we should run a video along with all the plants we've got lined. You should take a video of all the plants we've got here. We've got the best looking range of plants that I've ever had for one of my flash sales. We've been out to the growers, and what I wanted to do was I wanted to show people how to get some style into their gardens, and the growers have really helped out, and they've just given us the most exciting and best range that we've ever had of plants. And the first style we're going to do is cottage, which is one of my favourites, and we're going to be showing you some really nice cottage plants. And then after the cottage, we're going to do Hamptons, and we're going to do formal, and we're going to do modern. We're going to do all different garden styles today, and we're going to show you beautiful plants. And if you want those particular plants, they're up for sale for fabulous prices. So we're going to have you'll have lots and lots of specials. And here you're going to see some great plants that fit into different garden styles. So you can learn a lot about garden styles, and you can buy all these plants that we bring up now. How can people buy these plants?
Hello. You're watching the Hello Plant Growers Direct Garden Styles Flash Sale. I'll be one of your hosts today here for the next 2 hours to answer your questions in the comments and guide you through this exciting plant sale. If you've just joined us, check the pinned message at the top of our socials or scan the QR code on the screen. Either one will take you directly to our website where you can start shopping. Or Chris, our lines are open and our...
Yeah, you can ring up. We've got 4 or 5 people there to answer the phone, or you can just hook up the trailer and head on down to Hello and just grab these plants.
Absolutely. So if you need to call in, our telephone number is 03 9359 3331.
Great. And we're 1477 Sydney Road, Campbellfield, right, which is sort of just off the ring road, real easy to get to, and very sort of central. You know, it doesn't matter whether you're in Ballarat or Bendigo, wherever you are, we're real easy to get to. And not only that, we deliver. If you spend over $300, we deliver out as far as Terrelgan and all through Gippsland as far as Terrelgan. We deliver up to Shepparton. We deliver up to Bendigo, out to Ballarat, down to Geelong, and down to the Surf Coast, and all the places in between. If you spend $300, and we deliver for free. That's
pretty good. Now, Chris, we start our live stream with a question from Zulu Pink on YouTube, who has said, "Hello, can you tell me about ginkgo lemon spire? I understand they grow quickly with a side dressing of lime at each season. Cheers."
Your ginkgos come from summer rainfall country in China and Japan, and they grow in alkaline. So lime is correct, a bit of fertilizer and plenty of summer water, and you'll find they're really quick. You can grow them 1 metre a year when they're young, given a nice hot sunny spot, plenty of water, and a little bit of lime and a bit of fertilizer.
Fantastic. And we've got on TikTok, we've got Rod in Queensland, who's asking the best way to prune gardenias into a bush, please.
Look, start when they're young and just nip the tips on them. You know, just start young and don't let them get you can. And if you're going to chop them, if you've got a big old scraggly one, you're going to chop it back hard, do it in the springtime. Don't do it now.
Sure. And so Australia's on TikTok says, "We love these guys. They're amazing." Thank you.
Thank you.
And Della has said, "Do you still have the wombats out the front?"
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we watch out for the wombats out the front, going back a few years.
Rod says thanks. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so here we are. Now, if you're doing a cottage garden, it's nice to have a nice flower hedge, and this is a Escallonia Iveyi, and they're normally $29.99. We've got them for $17.99. Now, it's a fast-growing hedge. It's not a big hedge, and this is a hedge that you can get by with a minimum of trimming, and it's best not to trim it, because if you trim it, you're cutting off the flowers. It goes by with a minimum of trimming, and it flowers for 5 or 6 months a year. Beautiful dark green foliage with lovely contrasting white flowers. So Escallonia Iveyi, beautiful flowering hedge, great for the cottage garden, and great if you want a smallish hedge with not too much trimming. and only $17.99.
Now, Chris, Kit is on TikTok, says, my favourite show is on.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So here we have Avonview Lavender. I think straight off the truck from somewhere, a little bit wilty, unfortunately. But anyway, if you get them, we'll have them watered. Down from $24.99 to $14.99. So nice big. Now these will be a massive blue flowers in springtime. Avonview is a great lavender for a hedge or for a specimen. Great to pop in the cottage garden, and flowers right through late winter, right through to well after Christmas. So very, very long flowering, long lived, lovely sort of silver grey foliage, and blue flowers in springtime, and only $14.99 for a nice big bushy 8-inch pot.
Wonderful. Chris, we've got Australia on TikTok saying, please give me some tips for a lemon tree in southeast Victoria, and the tree seems a little bit sick. The leaves are not looking healthy.
Cultivate around it and put some homemade compost around it together with Osmocote. So make a nice big circle around it and get a nice thick layer of homemade compost, the sort of stuff you get out of the kitchen, and so homemade compost and a good dose of Osmocote at the same time.
Because citrus trees really need an autumn time tonic, don't they?
Yes, they do, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate Pagan has said, I just bought that beautiful lavender.
Oh,
well done.
Wow, wonderful, thank you. Yeah, you'll really enjoy Avonview lavender. Is a great lavender. Now, here we've got Pratia, and these are beautiful. Look at these lovely little white flowers, and they're really, really cheap. Your White Star Pratia is $4.99. Look at those beautiful little white flowers. Now, with these, you can pop them in the cottage garden. You can grow them in a pot, grow them in a hanging basket, or cut them up and slip them in the cracks between your pavers. So hardy, grow in sun or shade, really beautiful, wonderful, versatile plants, and for $4.99 you really can't go wrong. Now here we've got a blue moon climbing rose, and these are lovely big plants. They'll give you a big show of flowers. I reckon if you planted these now, by Christmas you'd have them up 1.5 to 1.8 metres and have them covered in flowers, and Blue Moon has a lovely fragrance, a beautiful sort of lavender blue flower, and these have been reduced from $49.99 to $21.99. $21.99, big, strong, healthy plants, Blue Moon climbers. And then now we're going to see one of my favourite climbers. This one here is called Crepuscule. Now Crepuscule is a wonderful climber. Do you know, in most parts of Victoria this will be evergreen. It'll have lots of flowers in spring, lots of flowers in summer, lots of flowers in autumn, and just a couple of flowers in the winter. So it's evergreen with flowers virtually all year round, and it's an exquisite colour. It's sort of a wonderful mix of a bit, sort of apricot, a bit of cream, really beautiful, beautiful coloured flowers, and very, very vigorous. So if you've got a big thing that you want to cover, Crepuscule is the #1 rose. And if you want an evergreen and you want flowers all year round, Crepuscule is the one to have. And the other thing that's great about it is not too many thorns. And what's really fabulous today, instead of paying $49.99, they're only $21.99. So $21.99, great value.
Now, Chris, on TikTok, Josiah is over there, just saying, keep up the good work, mate. Now, I wonder if that's Josiah from Osbreed.
Could be, couldn't it? Yeah, yeah. So now, what we've got here is a 2-foot standard iceberg rose, and these are sort of bigger than normal 2-footers. Yeah, anybody could use these as the iceberg rose. Now, around the traps, iceberg roses have been getting up in the $40 to $50 range. Really, really expensive. These are excellent quality, nice thick stems, beautiful double head. We'll give you a close look at that lovely strong head. Look at that beautiful strong head on that rose there. Look at that beautiful strong head there. So beautiful strong heads on them. These will be a blaze of flowers, you know, by sort of October, November next year. And the thing is, you have been paying up to $50 for iceberg roses. These ones here are $16.99. So $16.99 for a standard iceberg rose. Incredible deal. And do you know that this is not the best deal we've got today?
I believe it, actually.
Yeah, this is just one of many great deals. $16.99 for an iceberg standard rose. And the thing is, you could come down here today and get a few of them in the boot of the car, or you could ring up and order them over the phone, get 10 of them set aside, do the front yard with them, or you can go online and order them right now. So standard iceberg roses, $16.99.
Over on TikTok, Australia said, wow, that's really good for icebergs, and I agree. Kate Pagan did ask a question back when we were looking at the Crepus rose, and Kate's asked, can you grow it in a pot?
Yes, you could. You'd water. It's a vigorous big one. Give it a big pot, plenty of water, plenty of fertilizer, no problems at all.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now here we have. When I was a kid, my mum would be really, really excited when the lilacs came into flower, and she'd go out, she'd pick big armfuls of them and put them in the house, and our house would be full of fragrance, and I love the look of lilac flowers, and they're a little bit old-fashioned, but they're coming back into fashion, and with cottage gardens being so fashionable. Now Alice Eastwood is your beautiful classic, like lilac, it's your lilac, you know, it's a lilac colour, and it's your classic one. And I think that that's one that my mum would have cut and brought into the house, and would have filled our house with beautiful fragrance. So Alice, now lilacs have been expensive and hard to get, and we've got them bare rooted. They've been freshly dug from the field last week. They're bare rooted, and they're $26.99. So if you want to get a beautiful classic lilac in your garden, $26.99 is a great price. And Alice Eastwood is a wonderful. Now here we've got Belle de Nancy. Now Belle de Nancy has a sort of a different style of flower, a little bit richer colour, still beautifully fragrant, and Belle de Nancy has been reduced down to $26.99, so $26.99, and people have been paying over $100 for lilacs because they've been hard to get.
Chris, we've got Aphidon on Instagram has asked, do we have the Rising Sun Redwood, Cercis canadensis JN2 in stock?
I don't think we do, but if they could contact us, we can chase that up with
Absolutely.
our suppliers. Okay.
We can try to source that one for you.
Yeah. So now we've got blue hyacinths. Blue hyacinths, it's a richer, cleaner blue. Beautiful plant. This is it here. The beautiful blue. And lovely fragrance, and again $26.99. And then this is our customer's favourite one. This is called Congo. Now Congo is lovely and fragrant and really, really rich, deep purple flowers. So Congo, really rich, deep purple flowers, and only $26.99. So these are all fabulous. Lilacs are just the most perfect little tree to put into your cottage garden, and they've got that old-fashioned cottage look, and $26.99 is absolutely fabulous for them. Now we're going to have the next one is Cora Brandt. Now lilac Cora Brandt, that's Congo there, beautiful dark purple. And in a minute there we'll have Cora Brandt. Now Cora Brandt is beautiful pure white. So look at that, there it is, Cora Brandt, a fabulous, imagine a fabulous white lilac in the garden, and you're not paying $60, $80 or $90, you're paying $26.99 for this field dug Cora Brandt, and that'll be flowering this spring. And it'll only take you a couple of years to make a nice bush. And then a real classic one is Catherine Havermeyer. Catherine Havermeyer, there it is there, a lovely soft double, and it's a sort of a double kind of a mauve colour, and beautiful fragrance, Cora Brandt, and only $26.99. So $26.99 for Cora Brandt lilac. And this is the last of our lilac collection. This is Sweetheart. And this will be the only time that, you know, probably in the next 12 months that you'll be able to get cheap lilacs like this. Also, this is a good size one, probably a good vigorous grower. And this Sweetheart one here, a beautiful rich pink, and $26.99. So $26.99, fabulous rich pink lilac. Now, so right now, for around the price that most nurseries would be selling one potted lilac for, you could put a whole lilac collection together today. Now, what we've got here is Kaleidoscope. Now Kaleidoscope, great for your cottage garden. You can make a hedge out of this, grow it, trim it up into a nice ball, just have it as a lovely loose thing. It has white flowers, it has colourful foliage every day of the year, so beautiful colourful foliage. And normally you're paying $21.99. These are only $15.99. $15.99, and colourful every day of the year. good little small compact colourful bush, and the colour changes a bit through the year. White flowers in springtime. Abelia Kaleidoscope, $15.99. Now, you've really got to have a look at this close up. This is a beautiful little ground cover, and look at the colours in that. You've got beautiful bit of blue, you've got pinks, you've got greys, you've got greens, and lovely little and this will grow and spread and cover. Now this can grow in a shady corner of the garden, morning sun area. Loves a bit of water, a little bit of fertiliser, and it's a Juga Burgundy Glow, normally $14.99. These are only $6.99. Beautiful, colourful little ground cover, $6.99, a Juga Burgundy Glow. Look at the colour of that. That's the beautiful blue flowers and all the pinks and silvers, and really, really lovely plant, and really very, very cheap. Now
Chris, we've got a question on YouTube from Sarah Alice, asking, can the blue moon rose be used to make rose tea? Now I know some rose hips are very rich in vitamin C and are excellent for teas and jams. I think it's the Rosa rugosa roses that produce the double flowers.
Could they contact us and we'll just research that, but I don't think that's the right one. We'll find the right one for the rose hip tea, okay?
All right, beautiful.
Now here we have one of the stars of today's show. This is Cotinus Grace, and unfortunately they've lost a bit of their leaves, but look at the intensity of colour here. I wonder if I should bring one over closer so you can really see the intensity of the colour here. Have a look at this. Look at that. Now these a week ago were just a mass of the most amazing colour. Now what's great about these is that these are a beautiful sort of purpley pink. They have these fabulous flowers, beautiful purpley pink all through spring and summer. And then in autumn they go the most vibrant. I don't even know how to describe this colour. It's somewhere between pink and purple. It's an amazing bit of colour, and these are a very small tree or a big bush, and great colour and beautiful flowers, and unusual flowers. The flowers are like smoke, but beautiful flowers right through from spring right through to autumn. So, and really they're also a very, very good deal. Down from $79.99 to $54.99, so $54.99 for Cotinus Grace, and these are beautiful bushy plants. I've never had better bushier, the lovely structure to them, never had better ones for sale.
I think it's fair to say the colour of these is like a tequila sunrise.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Chris, Australia's on TikTok and has said, hello, needs a lemon and honey tea to stave off that cold. I think the jig's up. We've all been a little bit croaky here.
Yeah, so now what we've got is Gaura Pink Butterfly Bush. Now these are normally $12.99 and they're reduced to $5.99. So $5.99, big beautiful plants like that. Now these flower for 5 or 6 months of the year with the most beautiful pink flowers. So fabulous pink flowers, and $5.99, incredible price. Now here we have, this was the first Hebe that I can remember that became popular. Lovely green foliage, lovely, this is coming to flower, beautiful purple flowers. These are normally $19.99, and we've got them now for $14.99. So $14.99, beautiful, look at those lovely flowers coming in, beautiful foliage, beautiful flowers, $14.99. There we are, $14.99. Hebe Inspiration, a beautiful garden classic, great for your cottage garden.
Chris, I've got an answer on the rose tea. So the best varieties for rose tea are the damask roses, Gallica roses, and rugosa roses.
Right. Okay.
So we could look them up and see what we can get in for people.
Yes, I know our suppliers certainly do the rugosa.
Definitely.
And now here we've got a and rose hip tea is lovely, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So here we have a dwarf crepe myrtle. Now what's great about this is that lots of people have got small gardens, have maybe only got gardens in pots or little tiny garden beds, and they want to have, and crepe myrtles have fabulous autumn colour, beautiful summer blossom, they're wonderful to have, but a lot of people can't fit them in. But here's one that only grows 1 metre tall, and so anybody who wants a crepe myrtle can have this in a pot or have it in a small garden bed and experience the beautiful, amazing summer blossom of the crepe myrtle, and then the wonderful autumn colour that follows. And these ones here, normally $19.99, and now only $10.99 for a beautiful crepe myrtle. A miniature crepe myrtle, that is, and only $10.99 for a miniature crepe myrtle.
That's pretty good.
Now, here we have a big crepe myrtle here. Now, this is fabulous.
We're definitely going to need a long shot for this one, Chris.
Yeah, this is Nat chairs. We might have to run the camera up this one to have a good look. Could we have a film of this? Now, what's great, you can see this fabulous autumn colour. Look at this. I'll show you this leaf here. Look at the intense colour with this. Look at the colour there. Is that right? Yeah, look at the intense colour that we have there. So Natchez crepe myrtle, a massive white blossom, as you see here, a massive white blossom in summer, and then when the blossom dies off, on comes this fabulous autumn colour. And when this matures, you're then going to have beautiful smooth bark with a lovely pattern on it. So one of the most aesthetic trees around, because it doesn't just have one beautiful feature, it has three fantastic features. Beautifully shaped tree, and this is a lovely big one. This one here, sort of thing you'd expect to pay, $500-600 for. We've got this for $249.99. $249.99. It's 3 meters tall at only $249.99. And don't forget, we deliver, so you can buy something like this, get it delivered out to Bendigo, out to Traralgon, whatever. And if you're spending over $300, you'll get this beautiful big tree delivered for free.
We've got, Chris leadjw.org on TikTok has said, I'd love ground coverage with yellow Australian bottle brushes. That does sound nice. I think probably some of the lower growing varieties might be able to help there. And also Australia was saying, I've got a small garden and want a small mix of herbs and some leaves to use in tea.
Right, okay, well, come in and our staff can help you with that.
We
help you,
can.
yeah.
Yep.
Like a lemon verbena would be great for that, wouldn't it?
Yep, and lime verbena, we've got that in as well.
Okay, so now we've got the Tuscarora crepe myrtle. Now, if you want, and I'll just show people this, now these are beautiful big bushes, and these are only $10.99. So look at this, a beautiful big bush for $10.99. Check this out here, and your Tuscarora crepe myrtle is if you want vivid colour in your garden, it's a fast-growing big crepe myrtle, and often these can cost $50-60 each. And these ones here are good-sized plants, and they're $10.99. So $10.99, beautiful crepe myrtle, and you can see the autumn colours coming on. They have lovely autumn colour, and they have the most vivid pink flowers of any of your crepe myrtles. Now here we have your Pierre de Ronsard. Now this is a red, Pierre de Ronsard is one of the most popular and one of the most asked for roses. Now I've got these in my garden. I found them to be very, very vigorous. Look at this beautiful rose here, really beautiful rose. Now these are amazingly vigorous. We planted them in our garden, and they covered an archway in just one season, completely covered an archway. Incredible show of flowers, and it's an amazing flower. And Pierre de Ronsard rose, at some places this can be quite an expensive rose. We've got them reduced from $49.99 to $21.99 for a Pierre de Ronsard rose.
So Chris, we've got Nanny on TikTok asking, when do you get bare standard roses in?
Now,
yes,
we've got thousands of them out the front. We've got Iceberg roses. We've got thousands of them. 2-foot standards are $20. 3-foot standards are $30. We've got 50 or 60 different varieties. Thousands of them out the front right now, and they're 2-year-old roses, big thick stems on them. Amazing.
Amazing. And don't let the weather put you off, because we have a very big barn here.
Yeah.
You just come in and you tell us what we want, and we'll go out in the wet and fish it out for you.
Now here we've got, this is a fabulous plant. This is your Mexican sage. I'll give you a close look at that. Have a look at this, your Mexican sage here. Now your Mexican sage is a fast growing, hardy bush. It'll grow almost anywhere, frost, heat, drought, poor soil, doesn't really matter. Grows sort of like 1.2 metres tall, lovely and bushy, and it flowers from really the start of autumn till the end of spring. So right through 8 or 9 months of flowers, lovely dark velvety green leaves, and these beautiful velvety purple flowers. Quite a big bush, really beautiful, strong flower. Grow it as a hedge, put it in your cottage garden, absolutely fabulous. Now, and a lot of places you'd pay 15, 16 bucks for one of these. We've got them here today for $5.99. So $5.99 for your Salvia Mexican bush sage.
Now, Chris, PZ5 has asked, is on Instagram and asks, do we have an outlet in Sydney?
No, we don't, unfortunately.
But we do ship to Sydney.
Yeah, we do ship to Sydney, yeah. And so what we've got here is we've got a soft pink Mirage Salvia. And this, if you're after a salvia, it flowers virtually all year round, but never really gets too big. So if you're after a small to medium salvia, and it has that lovely salvia, if you crush the leaves, beautiful salvia smell to it, and the softest soft pink flowers, and this will flower all year round. And some places you'll be paying a fortune for these. Instead of paying $14.99, they're only $10.99, and they're nice big healthy bushes. Have a look what you get for $10.99. Look at that there. Absolutely fabulous for $10.99.
I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. So $10.99, soft pink Mirage.
Chris, we've got a lot of people on TikTok today, and we've got a few questions that have popped up. Maddie P has asked, do hydrangeas grow well in winter or in the colder weather?
They live in the, they go to sleep, they drop, there are hydrangeas that don't drop their leaves, but most of them drop their leaves, go to sleep in the winter, but they're still alive, and then they come to life and flower and do everything in spring and kind of knock off in late autumn.
So Maddie P, they will make you feel very happy in the spring when they wake up. Nanny has asked, do we have Tequila Sunrise in the standard roses?
I'm pretty sure we do.
Yes, pretty sure we do. But Nanny, if you want to know for sure, give us a call, 0393593331, and we can certainly get somebody to pop out there and see if we do have it. If we don't have it there, we could order that in for you. Also, the Angler, welcome, on TikTok has asked, companion plant for crepe myrtle in a pot.
Crepe myrtle, companion plant. It'd be nice to have something that could, in a pot.
With a bit of contrast.
Yeah, a little bit of contrast. Maybe something like, a bit of an unusual idea would be like a purple pixie loropetalum, which would give you an amazing bit of contrast and colour. I think that could look really, really nice.
That would look nice.
Yeah. So now here we've got white thyme. Now white thyme, fabulous ground cover. We had them here, masses of beautiful white flowers for months and months in the summertime. So white thyme, fabulous ground cover, and often they can be a bit pricey. But we've got them here reduced from $12.99 to $6.99. So $6.99 for beautiful healthy white thyme. And now Society Garlic, these flower for 5 or 6 months a year. They have beautiful lavender flowers. We've got one here with one flower left on it, and we'll give you a close look at that. It's a lovely little flower. Now, these could be used as a border or as an individual plant. They could be popped here and there in the cottage garden. They can make a beautiful border. They'll grow in the hottest, toughest, most difficult spots. And we've got them, instead of having them for $14.99, we've got them for $7.99 for Society Garlic, and it's the variegated form, which has a lovely colourful leaf on it.
Chris, I've got on Instagram, Taylor JPEG has asked, in regards to the time, is it okay to plant in late May?
Yes, for sure. It's a very hardy plant, no problems with the winter. Now here we have your native violet. So your native violet, grow it in, if you've got a shady spot where nothing else will grow, the native violet's sure to thrive there, and it flowers. It has these beautiful little flowers, and it flowers 365 days a year. So have a look at that beautiful flowers, 365 days of the year, a spreading ground cover, lovely fine foliage, and not $11.99 but $6.99. So $6.99 for your native violet.
So Chris, we've got some more questions on TikTok. Nanny has said, thanks for the replies. I'll drop in as I'm after quite a few different roses. Nanny's also said that she'd inherited Mum's standard roses when she passed, and one is over 25 years old, which is lovely.
Yeah.
They've been transplanted into pots and they're going well. C-nut, haha. I have a number of chili plants in large pots. What would you do to protect them against the frost?
Well, I've been looking for, I try and get them under a veranda. If you had a spot under a veranda where a bit of sun snuck in or something like that, I reckon you'll get them through the winter.
Good idea.
Yeah. Okay, now here we've got some edibles. We've got your Sweet Cheeks apples, and these are an amazing deal. These are, your Sweet Cheeks apple is $10.90, down from $50 to $10.99. They're nice established bushes. I reckon if not next summer, the following summer, you'd be getting apples off these. They're a beautiful little apple, great for the kids' lunches, really special little apple tree, and $10.99. Great, amazing deal.
Now we have had a question on TikTok from Margaret. Margaret has asked, can you buy kangaroo paw in white?
No, there's some there's one called Diamond, what we had there a lot, which is a sort of a very pale.
Well, I think it's almost correct because it's very hairy, and when it's looked at from afar, the hairs come off as a white in colour, but it's actually green underneath.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So Diamond, that's the one, and we do stock Diamond.
We do stock that, so we could get it in.
Yeah. Now here we have the blueberry rosemary, and now what you can see here today is you can see that rosemary have beautiful autumn colour. Like they're a wonderful bush to have. Blueberries have lovely flowers in springtime, beautiful lush green foliage in summer. Then look at that, really pretty, and then lovely autumn colour. And so I think that the blueberry is actually a beautiful little ornamental bush that just happens to produce blueberries as well and be wonderfully edible. And there's nothing like picking your own blueberries and eating your own blueberries in your garden. So that is the Blue Rose blueberry, normally $17.99. These are $8.99. You can see they're nice big bushes. They'll be producing blueberries next summer, and $8.99.
Now, Chris, Nanny's back on TikTok and asking the best lemon tree for Kinglake weather.
I'd go for a Lisbon lemon. Lisbon lemon, and if I was buying a second lemon tree, I'd buy a Maya lemon.
Now, Chris, you were telling somebody in the nursery a little story about lemons and the Great Dividing Range. Do you want to repeat that for the
that's
viewers?
right. I was given a book by one of my uncles, an old book done back in the 50s and 60s, and it was put out by the Victorian Agricultural Department. And what they said there, they said that if you're planting lemons north of the divide, you plant a Lisbon lemon because it can take the frost and take the more difficult, the hotter conditions than the tougher conditions. But if you're going south of the divide, which they'd call a maritime climate, you should plant the Eureka lemon. Now, Eureka lemon's a wonderful lemon, not too thorny, beautiful big fruit, very, very productive, but a bit more sensitive to frost. So you grow that south of the divide in what they call a maritime climate of Victoria. So Eureka lemon south of the divide, so that's all through Melbourne. North of the divide, Lisbon lemons.
And we can get Eureka lemon seedless these days, which is good news.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Now here we have an amazing deal, and we're into your formal garden. So if you're doing a more formal garden, Silver Birch is a beautiful classic tree. You could get one like this, trim up the bottom branches. Another year or so, this will be a massive, beautiful white trunk. Now what's amazing about this birch here is it's 4 metres tall, and a lot of places it'd be $600-700 for 4 metre silver birch. And and don't forget, if you spend over $300, so you'd only have to buy 2 of these birches here, and you'd have a free delivery, which is amazing. That the tree's nearly a truckload in itself. So silver birch is not $3.99, but $229 for a 4 metre silver birch. Maybe you're putting a new house on the market and you want something to make it look a bit established. At $229, you couldn't go wrong with one of these 4 metre silver birches. Incredible value for money.
That's an amazing tree. This is a 2-story building here, Chris.
Yes,
and inside the 2-story cavity, that's almost hitting the roof.
Yeah. Now here we have silver birches are wonderful trees. They have white trunks. They're a fabulous tree. And I put a video up a while back about how for just a few bucks you can give your garden $1 million look. And how you do it is you plant these 1-year-old silver birches like this, and if you water and fertilise this, you'll have a beautiful 4 or 5 metre tree in only 2 or 3 years. And they'll have a fabulous white trunk. And if you plant rows of them or plant copses or groupings of them, these ones here, look, it makes your place look $1 million. And these ones here, these silver birch here, reduced from $24.99 to $18.99. So $18.99 for a 8-inch pot silver birch.
Now, Chris, are we back on Instagram? We haven't forgotten Taylor JPEG. In relation to the thyme, just asking, do the thyme drop their leaves in winter?
No, evergreen.
That's right.
Yeah. So now we've got Betula pendula Youngie Eye. Youngie Eye is your weeping birch. It's been grafted up here. This one's been grown in the field for a few years, so it's got a lovely full head. That's going to look absolutely fabulous in springtime. Normally $5.99. It's been reduced to $269.99. So $269.99. Beautiful advanced weeping birch. Really, if you had a small garden and you wanted something to finish it off, you couldn't go wrong with a beautiful birch like this at a $269.99. And don't forget, if you spend $300, we deliver free over most of Victoria. And all you have to do to buy from us is scan this code here, ring up or jump in a car and head down to 1477 Sydney Road, Campbellfield.
Now, Chris, I noticed at the bottom of that silver birch it's already getting the white bark.
Yes, that's right. Yes, yeah. So what it is, white bark, sometimes when you buy a young one, it'll have brown bark. White bark is something that occurs on a silver birch with sexual maturity. So as they mature and start flowering and seeding, the white trunk comes.
Beautiful. Chris, we've got Nanny's back on TikTok and has thanked us for the information we've given so far, but has asked, do we have those lemon trees in stock? And we do have plenty of lemons in stock.
Lots of them, and miniature ones and larger growing ones. Now here we have a box-sized topiary ball, and a lot of nurseries, $200, $300, $400 for a nice big, because something like this is 4 or 5 years old, and a lot of people are charging hundreds of dollars for a nice box ball like this. And we've got these for $99. So $99 for a beautiful box ball. So if you want to get that formal look, maybe you want to grow them in a pot, maybe you want to put them in the garden, get that formal look in your garden for a cheap price, $99 for a beautiful big English box ball. So $99. Buy 3 of them and we'll deliver them for free right out as far as Bendigo or Ballarat or down Geelong.
Or Shepparton.
Or Shepparton, yeah. Even out in Traralgon. Now here we have the Glauca pencil pine. Now your Glauca pencil pine, pop these in, bit of water, bit of fertiliser. This will be as tall as me in 12 months. They're a very fast growing, hardy tree. You can screen off, they're a great thing for screening off the neighbours, a great thing to put at the entrance of your property. Beautiful, beautiful tree. So Glauca pencil pines. And some places can cost you a fortune, but these ones won't. They're $29.99 normally. They're $18.99. So $18.99, and these will be as tall as me in 12 months. So Glauca pencil pine, and Glauca pencil pine, very clean, no nuts, keep their shape for years. Now
Chris,
here,
Taylor JPEG is back on Instagram and has asked, should we keep our new lemon trees in the pot until spring, or would they be okay to plant now?
If I was in a very harsh climate, like say Shepparton or something like that, I think it'd be a good idea. If I was in Melbourne, I'd put them out right now.
Absolutely. Autumn, we've still got a little bit of warmth in the ground,
yes, that's right,
we've got some wet weather.
Yeah. So harsh inland climate, keep them in the pot till spring. In Melbourne, they're going to root and grow and develop in the garden because it's not that cold in Melbourne.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's one of your best box style hedges. This is much faster than English box. It's green and lush. It doesn't sort of go funny colours in the winter. It's a wonderful, fast growing, beautiful hedge, and it's called Green Rocket. And these have been reduced. They're lovely big bushy plants. I'll give you a look at them. And they've been reduced from $12.99 to, what do they reduce to Green Rocket? To $7.99. So $7.99. Take a look at this. So $7.99 for a Green Rocket, $7.99, fabulous value, $7.99. And with all of this, there's only a limited number available, like with those Green Rockets. We've only got 80 available. So a couple of people can make a beautiful hedge with these. And you'll find if you've got a bit of a difficult site, maybe the soil's not great, maybe it's really hot inland country, like maybe you're in Shepparton or Bendigo or somewhere like that, this is a much tougher alternative than an English box. So in a tough or difficult situation, or if you're after something fast, you can't go wrong with Green Rocket, and you can't go wrong with these ones. They're beautiful big plants and they're really, really cheap. $7.99.
Chris, we have Cable Lee who has joined us from Canberra and has asked, what is the best conifer for Canberra growing? And a follow-up question, I've been looking at the Skyrocket junipers. Would that be appropriate?
Skyrocket, okay. Very best, if you want it the very best, I'd go Spartan. Spartan's really, really tough. It's really, really tough. It keeps its shape, it trims well. It'll be looking good years and years from now. Like so, Spartan conifer, very good and great one to trim. Now here we've got a Ficus hilli standard 16-inch pot, freshly potted, reduced from $2.99 to $1.99. Now what's great about this is that it's got a nice thick trunk, it's nice and big, so if you want a nice finished look in your garden, you can't go wrong with these for $199. Nice big advanced standard Ficus.
Chris, Life with Aisha has joined us on TikTok and said, hi, do you have finger lime plants?
We do have finger lime plants.
We've got heaps in stock here. I just noticed before we came to the live sale that we have got so many varieties of finger limes. I'm actually going to take one home myself today.
Yeah. Well, actually, we had somebody come in the other day and they said, wow, this must be the home of the finger lime.
There's some really beautiful ones out there.
We'll show you we'll slip a finger lime in. Anyway, so here we've got a Ficus Ficus Flash Standard, and they're normally $50. These are virtually half price for $24.99, so $24.99. Now what will happen if you planted one of these in the, say maybe you put them up the garden path or up the driveway, or maybe you put them in a pot, maybe you're living up 20 floors somewhere in Melbourne, and here we are in the background here, here's an example of some of our fabulous finger limes here. All these different colours, look at that, 3 different colours, beautiful finger limes. Actually, some of the best finger limes I've ever seen.
Yeah, same. I've been looking at finger limes a long time, and I've never seen plants that healthy before. So
yeah, and really fabulous ones like Rainforest Pearl, Green Sapphire, Red Centre Lime, and Byron Sunrise.
Gorgeous, and they all of the different colours have a different flavour profile with in each of the different cultivars.
Yeah, so yes, we have finger limes.
And props to Suman for going out in the rain and grabbing that for us
thanks
today.
Okay, now what I want to do is talk about these Ficus standards. Now what's great about these Ficus standards, say you put these up the garden path and you just trim them lightly, you don't trim them hard. By the end of next summer, this ball could be about 80-90 centimetres round, and that would make them overall this high, and they could be making a fabulous feature in just one summer. But the trick is just don't cut them too hard. I call it soft trimming, where you're just trimming the tips and you're allowing them to expand with each growth. Plenty of water, plenty of fertiliser, and turn these into a stunning feature, maybe this high by the end of this summer. So $24.99, these can make a fabulous feature in the garden by the end of this summer.
Chris, Nanny's joined us on TikTok again and has said, will the finger limes be okay in the cold and frost of Kinglake?
Yes.
Yes. I think we need to do our homework on the cultivar to make sure we've got the right one and to make sure it's positioned well. But definitely in a pot, in a patio.
They're an Australian native actually,
They are.
and they're suited to our conditions. But it'd be important to choose the right cultivar, as you said.
Absolutely. So Nanny, I hope that's been helpful for you, and it sounds like we might be seeing you in the down here at the nursery soon. Taylor, Cable Lee on Instagram has said thank you very much from Canberra.
No worries.
For the information about the conifers. Taylor JPEG, do they all fruit at the same time? And I assume that's talking about the finger limes.
No, I think they fruit at different. Each cultivar is a little bit different. They'll fruit at different times.
That's right. And with the varieties we've got here, you could choose an early, mid and late season variety. So you could get around about 6 months worth of fruit.
Yeah. Now here, let's do this.
Yes, go for it.
Here we've got our Portuguese Laurel standards. Now this I think is perhaps one of the most extreme specials. Most nurseries, I don't reckon you get one this quality for under $300. These ones here are really, they're the best I've ever seen. Beautiful round heads on them, lovely luscious foliage, and you'd expect to pay $200-300 for these. These are the best value standards in our whole nursery at the moment. These are $99. So $99, 12-inch pot. Now, these have two possible uses. One possible use is you have them and clip them as a ball and grow them into a lovely standard. Or the other idea you could do with something like this is turn it into a pleached hedge. Now, the pleached hedge is where you have a hedge on it. I'll put it up here so you can see it. But if you were to plant these and then trim that top up into a beautiful square hedge, you'd have a beautiful pleached hedge without any real hard work to do. So these could make the most beautiful pleached hedge. And at $99, you're hard pressed. They're 1.4 meters tall, and you're hard pressed to buy a bushy one, let alone a trained one, for that low price of $99.
Now, Chris, do you know what a goat is?
A goat?
Yes, well, Andy's on TikTok and he says Chris is the greatest of all time.
Oh, wow, thank you. Right, now here we have, for your formal garden, this is a fabulous, getting a bit of soil. You can grow this in a pot, and what it is, if you buy a sort of a conical shaped box this big, it'll cost you $120. And these ones here, they're going to cost you only $69.99. So $69.99, and you've got a beautiful conical smaragd conifer in a 13-inch pot, beautiful plant, at $69.99. Really good value.
Chris, Philippa Gundy is on Instagram and has asked, is there anything that you would recommend for preparing the dirt for camellias and lily pillies?
For camellias, you want nice acidic soil, and we've got sort of rose and gardenia potting mix here. You could use something like that. You could get some fine crushed pine bark and mix it through the soil, but you want to have nice acidic soil for camellias. They love a bit of osmocote, so beautiful acidic soil, and you could use an acidic potting mix or something like crushed pine bark, and then for your lily pillies, I would just dig it up and mix some potting mix through it and just loosen and open up the soil. Now here we've got our Faulkner. Faulkner is a sort of in summer this will be shiny green foliage, beautiful box ball, and we've got these here for $79.99. So $79.99 for a Faulkner box ball in a 12-inch pot. Really, really good value.
So Chris, Nanny's let us know that yes, she'll make sure her bank account is cashed up when she comes down from Kinglake.
Great.
We'll be excited to see her. And Melman said, tell the old man we love his high flow rosette, and thanks for selling them and not keeping it a secret.
Yeah, no worries. That's our special rosette that we use. I had to find the best way to water here, and I found this rosette, which we now have available on our website. And when I see people out there watering with those little orange guns that hardly put out any water, I feel really sorry for them. And those big rosettes are the way to go. And if anybody's wondering about how to water, just pop in to see our staff watering here with their big rosettes. Now here we've got a really, really fabulous deal. These Tom Thumb, not $12.99, these $5.99, so $5.99, beautiful Tom Thumb. Now, Tom Thumb grows twice as fast as English box, and if you live in frosty or difficult country where your English box can turn brown or purple in the winter, this stays green and lush, and it grows twice as fast and it's twice as tough as English box. So if you're out in Shepparton or out in Bendigo or Ballarat, if you're in tough country and you're looking for a green box style hedge that grows quickly, you can't go wrong with Tom Thumb. In fact, I'll tell you a story. In the old days, I used to advertise and sell truckloads of box eyes. And with the box eyes, if we used to guarantee it that if it didn't grow, we'd replace it. And what would happen is people would sometimes buy box eyes, they'd all die in a tough spot, and then we'd send them another lot and they'd all die too. And we'd never send them a third lot. What we used to do is we used to send them this stuff, the Tom Thumb. And I had people buying, like one guy in Adelaide had a salty property, and at any rate he lost 2 lots of box eyes, got these, and then he was buying them off me for years later because they grew fabulously, and it was a fabulous discovery for him. It was a tough box style hedge that he could grow in his salty, difficult country. So Euonymus Tom Thumb, $5.99, very handy, fast growing, super hardy box style hedge.
So we've got, back to TikTok, we have got, we've got a new viewer asking, do we know anything about the Dorothy Gordon Grevillea? And Chris, I don't know if you know much about Dorothy Gordon, but
No,
I do.
I don't. You tell us about that.
No worries. Well, the Dorothy Gordon is a lovely compact shrub that grows 3 meters tall, 2 meters wide, and it has got gorgeous, petite, lilac-coloured
Sounds
Grevillea.
fabulous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And
Yeah.
so we I don't think we've got those in stock right now, but if somebody's after the one, they could give us a call on 0393593331, and we could try and source it for them.
Yeah, no worries. We can certainly get that. That sounds like a wonderful Grevillea. Now, these hydrangeas don't look great at the moment, and that's because they're going into autumn. But this one here is called Miss Sayori. Look at those amazing double flowers. Beautiful pink and white, fabulous, spectacular one. Loves a shady spot, extra bit of water. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden. And Miss Sayori is normally $49.99. These are $32.99, and they're nice established plants. These will give you 4 or 5 beautiful flowers this spring. If you get them and plant them out now, you have 4 or 5 beautiful Miss Sayori flowers in springtime this next season.
Andy is back on TikTok and has asked, what is a good plant for an apartment use that doesn't need sun all of the time?
Okay, apartment use, doesn't need sun. What? What's that?
Oh, Sansevierias.
Oh,
Sansevierias
yes.
would be excellent
You're
for an
right,
apartment.
you're right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, Sansevieria, we'll put one out here. This would be, so for your apartment, not much light, your Sansevieria, really tough and easy to look after. So if you're the sort of person that sort of doesn't want to spend too much time looking after their plants, haven't got ideal conditions, maybe not enough light, hard to beat a Sansevieria. I
think you've got a couple behind you. The Zamiococcus Zanzibar gem.
Yep, Zanzibar gem, that's another good one for that. That's a great apartment building, apartment plant, that one there.
And the spider plant just behind you would be another really good one.
Yeah, in actual fact, what we've got here, this spider plant here is your new modern. There was the sort of spider plant they had back in the 70s. This one here's got this one here is a stronger, bigger grower that really has long 1 metre tall cascades of little babies. It's a beautiful one. Beautiful. So that would be really, really good, low light in an apartment. Now, what we've got is Hydrangea Princess Diana, reduced from $49.99 to $32.99. So $32.99, and this is a beautiful pink hydrangea. Amazing flowers. And really, really good price, $32.99. And if you got this, put it into a bigger pot or put it in the garden now, you'll have a massive flowers in springtime. So this will flower up beautifully. It's got nice mature wood on it that'll flower beautifully in springtime. So now's a great time to buy for spring flowers.
Chris, I better not forget this. We have a comment here from Starneat. Can you purchase those rosettes online? I'm not too sure which rosettes. I might just ask Starneat, if you're still listening, just to pop in the chat which rosettes that you were talking about, and we'll try and figure it out.
But we've got 15,000 different plants online. There's not a lot of plants you can't get. There's 15,000 different sizes and prices and plants online. And you go to hellohello.com.au with 15,000 different plants online.
Which is probably not a bad time to remind people that the QR code on the screen is a really good way to go directly to our website, or there's a link that's pinned in our social chats.
Yeah, now have a look here. This is a beautiful pink weeping cherry, and it's called Shields. Look at those flowers there. They're absolutely fabulous. And here I've got one of these. Now, go down to your local nursery, and one of these will cost you a couple $100 for a nice big one of these Shields weeping cherries. And a couple $100 is a pretty fair price, but we've got a crazy deal here. We've got these, a Shields weeping cherry. We've got it for $59.99. So $59.99 for a Shields weeping cherry. And one like this is a couple of years old. It's got lots of buds on it. This is going to flower nicely this spring. So $59 and $59.99 for a 6-foot weeping cherry. Maybe you're doing up a house to put on the market, and you need something big out the front, but you haven't got a big budget. $59.99. You cannot go wrong for this. It's kind of one of the craziest deals that we've got on today for a pink weeping cherry. $59.99. It's 6 foot tall. It's amazing.
Hey Chris, it's that time again. Mythical Rhino's on TikTok and has said, "Where's the skirt? What the heck?"
I think
Yes, it's a tutu.
I think we what sort of game can we play to get me to put the tutu on?
Well, Mythical Rhino, we're gonna make you rise to the challenge here. Chris is going to need a bit of a quota to get him to get the tutu out. Open to suggestions.
How about 50 roses?
50 roses. Oh my gosh, what about that galaxy? We got a galaxy last week. If we can't get more than a galaxy this week, I'm not sure the tutu should come out. Mythical Rhino, I'm going to get you to rise to the challenge there.
Okay. Okay. So now what I want to do is I was out working the other morning early, and I saw a beautiful weeping cherry with the most beautiful autumn colour. A lot of people don't realise. Have a look at this leaf here. Look at the colour in this leaf, right? And like a lot of people think that weeping cherries are great because they have beautiful blossom, but what I've noticed is particularly probably that if I was after really nice autumn colour in my weeping cherry, I'd buy this variety here. It's called Subitella alba. It has white blossom in spring, and anyway, I was driving past one of these and it was just covered in the most gorgeous autumn colour. It was a little tiny terrace house, and the whole front yard was just aglow with the most beautiful colour. And this is a Subitella alba weeping cherry. This is only a young one, so it hasn't got a fabulous shape. But when this develops, not only do you get beautiful white blossom in spring, it's a strong growing one. It's very, very free from disease and things like that, and then fabulous autumn colour. Now what's incredible, it's a 6-footer. This would be a couple of $100 at your local nursery, you know, possibly even $300. We've got them for $59.99. Only a limited number, but $59.99. 6-foot white flowering weeping cherry that has beautiful autumn colour. Now, around the traps, everybody's going for oriental pearls, and oriental pearls, you can't get them for under $35, $40, $50. These are spring pearls, very, very similar to your oriental pearl, but they don't have quite the same trademarks and costs involved with them, and so consequently we've got them for $21.99. So $21.99. So if you want that oriental pearl look in your garden, but you want it for a bargain, now these just grow in the most beautiful round green ball. So beautiful round green ball, and they are only $21.99, and then in spring they're covered in the most beautiful white blossom. So there we are. Now here we have another fabulous deal. These are 4-foot standard icebergs. Now 4-foot standard icebergs, last few years they've been selling $70, $80, $90 each. There's a bit of work in them. These ones are double grafted, beautiful strong ones. They're established in a pot. They're going to transplant beautifully, and the price is bizarre. It's only $49.99 for a 4-foot standard iceberg. Lovely healthy plants, 100% chance of survival because they've got nice established root systems in the pot, and $49.99. So $49.99, give your garden that real Hamptons look. Now if you want a rich, luscious green hedge, you can't go wrong with these. These are amazingly cheap. These are Viburnum Coppertop, reduced from $29.99 to $17.99. So for a lush green hedge, Viburnum Coppertop, beautiful dark green, glossy, easy to grow hedge. Now you can grow this under other trees, you can grow it in difficult spots, plenty of water, plenty of fertilizer, but a bit of shade. You know, a difficult spot where perhaps you mightn't grow a lily pilly or a ficus. These are fast growing, easy to grow, and it's $17.99. Plant them about 90 centimetres apart and grow yourself a 6-foot hedge in 18 months.
Now Chris, we're back on TikTok and the angler is fishing around for a little bit of advice. The best Loropetalum for hedging?
Hard to get at the moment. Purple Prince is very good.
Yep. Purple
Prince, a little bit hard to get, but Purple Prince, you know, for a taller hedge, for a medium-sized hedge, I think Plum Gorgeous.
Plum Gorgeous, yeah, definitely my favourite.
And also, I've seen some nice hedges of China Pink.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so now what we've got is a weeping birch, and this is a crazy deal. This is another, we've got some really, really crazy deals today. This is a 16-inch pot weeping birch. It's lost its leaves, but it'll leaf up again in springtime. Lovely white trunk. and this has been reduced from $2.99 to $99. So that's less than half price. Fabulous weeping birch for $99. So the idea was, like, this is a kind of great for your formal style garden, and the idea was so that people today could put together a formal style garden or a cottage style garden, put together a different style of garden with plants that are on special. And and to get these plants, you can go online, just scan this QR code here, you can go online, you can come down to the nursery, you can get on the phone, and these plants are here till sold out. They're here for a week, or they're here till they're sold out, whichever comes first. Now we have fabulous English box. English box is probably the most popular ornamental plant in Melbourne. Fabulous English box, and these ones here have reduced from $9.99 to $5.99. I'll give you a close look at this. Have a look at this here. Look at that. Look at that there. Beautiful, healthy, thick, bushy plants. Now, these are of a size and health and vigour that if you were to get them and plant 5 of them to the metre and get a spring growth on them by sort of November, December next season, you'd have a complete English box hedge. 5 to the metre, spring growth, and you'll have a finished off beautiful English box hedge.
Now, Chris, we've had Hassan who's streaming in live from Iran. Had I been in Australia, I'd be a customer to Hello Hello Plants, and what a beautiful name for a plant shop.
Oh, thank you very much.
Hassan,
Thanks.
you wait till you see the tutu.
Right, okay, so here we've got a fantastic deal. I'm 6 foot, and these are, and what's interesting, these are covered in buds. These are going to flower for months and months and months, and these will grow in the shade. They're great for a hedge, great as an individual specimen. They're even great as a pot plant. If you've got an apartment and you've got a bit of a sheltered corner, you could put, up to high in Melbourne, you could put these in and have them as a beautiful flowering evergreen. They're evergreen, of course. Jennifer Susan Sasanqua, normally this height here you'd be paying well over $100. We normally charge $89.99 for this size here, but these ones here are $59.99. So $59.99, almost 6 foot tall, covered in buds, covered in flowers. Jennifer Susan, which is a beautiful pink Sasanqua. I might give you a close-up look at these flowers here so you can see the flower. Have a look at that. Have a look here. Look at those beautiful flowers. Yeah, so Jennifer Susan, beautiful flowers, beautiful foliage, fabulous bush, and nearly 6 foot tall, $59.99. Now, the most popular, and it's only been for the last 30 or 40 years, but the most popular camellia in Melbourne is Setsugeki. Setsugeki, beautiful fine dark green foliage, lovely big white flowers with a yellow centre. It has a lovely soft fragrance to it. Unfortunately, it's not flowering at all at the moment, but these are, now normally, this is 6 foot tall, this one here, and normally you'd be paying $120, $130, $140, maybe $150. This one here is Setsugeki, $59.99. So $59.99. 6 foot tall, fabulous value, $59.99 for a Setsugeki Sasanqua Camellia. Now, the most sought after hydrangea of all is called Annabelle. Now, Annabelle has a different leaf to the normal hydrangea, and it has the most beautiful spherical flower. Well, it's a kind of like a squash sphere. There it is there. Look at that there. Amazing show with the different foliage, the different flowers, and normally they're $50 each. You won't get it for much under 50. Some nurseries might be charging $60 or $70 each. We've got fabulous. Now I've got these direct from the grower, and he normally pots these on and sells them for big bucks, but he wanted to move a few. Maybe he wasn't quite ready to pot them all. And anyway, so these are nice strong plants in a small pot, and they're $14.99. So there's a lot of people out there that have dreamed of doing a mass planting of the Annabelle hydrangea, having, because they look amazing when you plant, plant 5 of them or 6 of them or 10, like here. So if you've been thinking of doing that, at $14.99 you can afford to do it. And say you bought 20 of them and you're up in Terrelgan, we'd deliver them for free up there. So Annabelle hydrangea, $14.99. So $14.99, now's your chance to mass plant Annabelle hydrangea.
Now, Chris, I'm on Instagram, and StarryMiso15 says, thanks, Chris, for helping me on Thursday.
No worries, love to help. That's what we're here for. Now here we have the most popular hydrangea around. It's called Sunday Fraise. Now, Sunday Fraise, when you've got a mature, proper one of these planted in your garden, the flower is like a large hot air balloon that's pure white in springtime, and then just after Christmas gets its first hint of pink, and then gets to being almost sort of a rich pink, as you see here, as you get into autumn. So very, very flowering, starts flowering in November and flowers right through till after Mother's Day and gets quite a rich pink by then. And it's a beautiful, strong grower, beautiful, strong growing hydrangea. And the great thing about Sunday Fraise, lots of people have got sunny gardens but they want hydrangeas. If this is kept well watered, you can grow this in the hottest, fullest sun. The chap who I get these from grows them in hot, full sun. So this is a hydrangea that loves the hot, full sun, no problems at all, and as long as you keep it well watered. And amazing big flowers, beautiful foliage, fabulous hydrangea, probably the most sought after one that we do. And these big ones like that normally $129.99, and this one here is $40.
Wow.
40 bucks.
Get that quick.
There we are. Yeah.
And now, Chris, Rapparina Shop is on TikTok, has sent you some love and very kindly shared the live stream video with their friends.
Oh, great! That's if you've got a friend who's got to do their garden, that's a great thing. You share this with them, and they can have access to wonderful cheap plants.
Yeah. What better to share?
Yeah. Now, if you love a bit of fragrance in the garden and you want that formal look and you want something really exotic and wonderful, here we've got the mock orange, the Philadelphus mock orange, and it's a beautiful fragrant plant. This one here, that's a single that we're seeing up there. This is the double one, and that's a pretty sweeping cherry. Anyway, so this is your double. I might show you this here. And this is a late spring, early summer flower, and the fragrance is heavenly, beautiful, beautiful large bush. That's, I think we're on the right, we've got the right thing here now. That's it there. Large, beautiful large bush, incredible show, amazing fragrance, and we've got a fabulous price for them today. Where are we? Susan.
Number 55.
Number 55. Mock orange, reduced from $39.99 to $21.99. Perfect for the Hamptons garden, $21.99. Mock orange, fill your garden with summer fragrance. Now here we have another Shields weeping cherry. Now this one's been grown in the field for a couple of years, filled out beautifully. There's the label there, and it's a beautiful established tree. It'll give you that garden, that finished off look, and normally you expect to pay $400 for something like that. This is $274.99, so $274.99, and when you spend $300 you could get this delivered out in Bendigo, down the surf coast, wherever you want. When you spend over $300 you get a free delivery and a beautiful Shields weeping cherry. And like, if you went to your local nursery, you probably couldn't even buy a cherry like this. This has a thick trunk, it's field grown, thick trunk, beautiful full head, and $274.99.
With a full head like that, Chris, if you were outside, you'd be in the shade right now.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Beautiful tree. Now here we have a falling snow weeping cherry. And this one here, we don't have many of these left. This one here is only $59.99, so $59.99. And your falling snow is going to be blossoming this spring. And if you want a small, compact weeping cherry, this is the one. And at $59.99, you just cannot go wrong.
Chris, on TikTok, we've got quite a few comments. Siraj is asking about avocado plants. We have a couple of them outside.
We've got big grafted ones out there, and I can do them. I'll do a special right now. I can do them for $69.99 for a 6-foot grafted avocado.
Siraj, you better get your butt down to the nursery because that is a good special.
Yeah.
And they are really good looking plants. Granisha says, hello, hello. And Jawad has asked, can you suggest any outdoor trees or plants for areas with no direct sunlight?
Japanese maples, Acuba japonica, stardust, Acuba japonica stardust, and Bartolina. Bartolina, amazing lavender flowers, interesting sort of velvety purpley foliage. So Bartolina, Japanese maple, and a Cuba japonica stardust.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, now Portuguese laurel. These are a great hedge. They're great for pleaching, and these are particularly nice specimens. Normally, there's something this size here, you might be up for $50, and these ones here, we're doing them for, and have a look, it's like it's up to my waist. We're doing them for $24.99, so $24.99. And now, if you're growing a hedge, put these a metre. If you're pleaching them, put them 1.2 metres apart. They're a wonderful, wonderful thing. So this is very impromptu.
Wow.
This is a beautiful grafted Hass avocado,
Oh my goodness.
ready to produce fruit next year. $69.99. And
My jaw is on the ground.
yeah, and so this is a kind of like an impromptu. You'll have to a very, very impromptu. Just added it into the specials there.
That's amazing. That's got to be what, 6.5 foot?
Yeah, yeah. That was flowering last season. So
Wow.
yeah. So now here we have. I think this is one of the best deals. This is one of the best deals that we've got today. This is a capital pear. Now capital pear, beautiful white blossom in spring. Fabulous autumn colour, red and burgundy autumn colour in autumn. These are a great tree to, if you want something tall and narrow on the boundaries of your property or running up an avenue or a driveway. It's also it's a tree that's extremely wind hardy. Put this in the windiest, toughest spot you got and this will thrive. Very, very hardy. And this one here is 3.5 metres tall. And you know, a lot of advanced tree nurseries would run $500 or $600 for a tree this big. This tree here is going to set you back $229. So $229 for a capital pear, white blossom in spring, beautiful red autumn colour, big advanced tree, $229.
Chris, Mary is on TikTok and has asked if you could please provide some info about coleus, assorted colours, and do we always stock them?
Well, the place is full of them at the moment, but if you're buying them now, you've really got to put them in a sheltered spot because they're not going to get through the winter otherwise. We've got them in the fernery here,
Yep.
and we've got 10 or 12 different varieties, and it's absolutely full of them. And
Yep.
so if you wanted to see a massive display of coleus, come and have a look. And then if you take them home, put them in a sheltered spot and they'll be right for the winter. Maybe put them under the veranda or something like that. And then you could plant them out in a more open spot as we get into warmer spring weather.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good planning.
Have a quick look at this. This is an apple blossom carpet rose, one of my favourite carpet roses. Look at this exquisite pink. Look at that there. Yeah. So apple blossom carpet rose, and these are good established plants. $19. They're reduced down to $19.90 each from $39.99, so $19.99, perfect for a Hamptons garden. And something I like to do is we're going to show you the white carpet rose in a minute. No, actually, we're going to show you the pink, but it's lovely to mix the apple blossom with the white. So soft pink and white, beautiful together, at only $19.99. Now, if you want some really vibrant colour in the garden, if you want something to really stand out, and look at that, look at this, it glows. Look at that pink there. Yeah. Now, do you know that this pink carpet rose, going back 35 years ago, this was the most popular plant in Australia. Fabulously popular, and because it's beautiful, strong pink. And people planted them as ground covers, they planted them in pots, they put them in hanging baskets, they did everything with them, and they sold all around the world. It was the chap who sort of got it going is a nurseryman from Mombolk, and he was flying all over the world, distributing it all through Europe and America, and it was the pink carpet rose. Now we've got probably my favourite carpet rose is and this is these days it's the biggest seller. Have a look at this lovely pure. Now what's great about this is you never have to cut the dead flowers off. When the flower's finished, it's going to just blow apart in the wind. And if you have a look at this one here, look at all the flower buds. This one here flowers for 6-7 months of the year. and it's evergreen, and I often use these for mass planting. In fact, I did a garden design this morning, and I did a whole big garden bed full of these because they're going to give 5 or 6 or 7 months of flowers a year. They're always going to be green. They're lush. They're easy to grow. They're super duper low maintenance. So for people wanting low maintenance, they're fabulous. Right, now what we've got is perhaps one of the most popular plants in Melbourne is your Chinese star jasmine. Your Chinese star jasmine starts flowering probably first week in December, and it'll flower right through into February, and the flowers are the most heavenly fragrance, like they come from the most beautiful fragrance, and they'll grow in the hot sun, they'll grow in the shade. Use them as a ground cover, use them to cover a wall, maybe have them grow them into a pattern on the wall. They're very, very versatile. Grow them in a pot, grow them in the garden. One of the most versatile, that's why they're so popular, because they're so versatile. So these are the Chinese star jasmine, reduced from $34.99, nice big plants, that's probably a metre tall, $34.99 down to $24.99. So $24.99, perfect for your Hamptons garden.
Now, Chris, we've got Elash Boutique who has joined us on Instagram and asks, what is the best cypress tree to grow for a rural property for privacy? And Elash Boutique is located in the Macedon Ranges.
Right, I would look at your Leighton's green cypress. Your Leighton's green cypress, very, very fast growing, very easy to grow, does great in the Macedon area.
Beautiful,
And I've seen, the best I've seen with just everything right, planted, I've seen it 7 metres in 3 years is the most growth I've ever seen on a Leighton's green cypress. They won't always go that fast, but given perfect conditions, 7 metres in 3 years, they're a very, very fast, easy to grow cypress.
Fantastic, thank you.
Now here we've got a fabulous, this is a sweet viburnum, and it's in a 12-inch pot. Normally they're $99. They've been reduced to, I think that's a mistake there, they've been reduced to $69. We need to correct that. So $69, and this is a beautiful big evergreen. Grow this in the shade, grow it, it's a really fabulous, and they're beautiful big evergreens. Look at the size of that. If maybe you're putting a house on the market and you need something that looks established, it looks like it's done now, $69.99, you can't go wrong with Viburnum odorantissimum. Now, it's time to get bare rooted, and what it is the winters come, the colds come, and the growers are starting to dig trees from the field. Now this is a beautiful golden maple. Now what's interesting about this is it's 2.5 metres tall, and it's only Kelly's Golden Maple. It's $26.99, perfect for $26.99. So you've got an advanced tree for $26.99. So $26.99 for a fabulous Kelly's Gold Maple, and this could be the centerpiece in your Japanese garden. Beautiful tree, hardy tree, grow it anywhere, frost, difficult conditions, and it's quite a compact little tree. So that's your Kelly's Golden Maple. Now, here you've got your Sensation Maple, and your Sensation Maple here is only $26.99. So $26.99 for a Sensation Maple. Now, a Sensation Maple is called a Sensation Maple because it's fast, it's tough, you can grow it anywhere, but the autumn colour starts in February, and it starts to colour up in February, and it'll colour right through into June. So it's probably the longest autumn colour tree of any tree around. That's it there, beautiful autumn colour tree, Sensation Maple.
Now, Chris, I
at
think
$26.99, and you've virtually got an established tree for $26.99.
You're right there, Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, I think it's probably a good time to just welcome everybody who's joined us late in the piece. You haven't missed out. If you have missed out on the first half of the live stream, don't worry, there's plenty of deals that you can catch up on. As soon as the live stream is finished, it will be listed back on, the live stream will be posted back to our YouTube channel, so you can catch up on anything you missed out on thus far. And really important, we'd love to see you down here at the nursery, wouldn't we, Chris?
Yes. So you can come down today or tomorrow and start grabbing these specials for yourself, ordering, grabbing, loading the car up, whatever, getting them delivered for free.
And where do the people need to come?
Down to 1477 Sydney Road, Campbellfield.
Excellent. And we're open 8:30 till 5:30 p.m. 7 days a week.
Yeah, and if you saw something special that you wanted to grab here today, you could ring up, you could get it put aside and come down and pick it up. So here and this is the sort of thing you might want to grab right now. This is a Shana maple. It's nearly 6 foot tall. This has beautiful red leaves in spring, summer and autumn. It grows into a round ball on a stick. It's sort of up on a bit of a pole, and it's been reduced to $119.99. So $119.99 standard Shana maple, 13-inch pot, $119.99. Now look at this. This is a beautiful Japanese maple, and you'd expect to be paying $500 or $600 for something like this. And it's a beautiful full tree. It's been field grown, then planted in this pot, and established beautifully in the pot. So it's going to transplant beautifully, and it's reduced from $4.99 to $299. So $299. That's a big Japanese maple for $299. It's an enormous maple.
That would make a beautiful addition to somebody's courtyard.
Yeah, you'd only have to spend an extra $1 and you'd have free delivery out to Bendigo, out to Tarralgon, down to the Surf Coast for a beautiful big advanced tree.
And Chris, I tell you what, that's a very good reminder that anybody who spends, we've got those, those lovely, I've gone blank.
The turtles?
Yeah, the turtles.
Yeah, the pretty turtles, beautiful indoor plants, yeah.
I forgot what they're called.
Yeah.
We can get them for $1 if you spend over 10.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you come down here, spend over $10 and get a pretty turtle for $1. Now, Japanese maple, these ones here, 7-inch pots, reduced from $16.99 to $12.99. So anybody can have a Japanese maple. These ones will grow just like the one you saw before. So beautiful, fast-growing, tough, easy to grow Japanese maple for $12.99. Now here's a beautiful 20-inch pot, elite grade red weeping maple, and you'd normally expect to pay $500. It's been reduced down to $459, so $459. This would be a 12-year-old tree, nice thick trunk, lovely full head. Give that another season and it'll be hanging down twice as far as it is now. And this is something that'll just grow and grow in value and beauty. $459.99, and that would include your free delivery to most of Victoria.
Now they were streptocarpus pretty turtles that you can get for $1 if you spend. It's over $10, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, that's right. You get the pretty turtle. Now look at this beautiful Laura petalum here. Look at this here. It's gorgeous. The colour's fabulous. The shape's fabulous. Now, if you're wanting to get, what I like about these is some plants have beautiful flowers and they might give you a nice colour for a month or two. This one here has fabulous flowers in springtime, beautiful pink flowers in spring, but fabulous purple foliage 365 days of the year. So it puts colour in the garden every day of the year. It's a lovely low spreading sort of plant, and it's a Laura petalum plum delight, normally $110 down to $69.99. So $69.99 for a Laura petalum plum delight. Now, if you want a really, really tough, low maintenance garden, a plant in your garden, something you never really have to trim, you barely have to water, you barely have to do anything, this is it, a Moon Bay Nandina. It's going to grow 45 centimetres wide and 45 centimetres tall and give you interesting colour and texture all year round. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden, and these are reduced from $29.99 to $14.99. So $14.99 for a beautiful, colourful Laura petalum. Right, so here we've got your Dwarf Nandina. So your Dwarf Nandina, these are a great source of colour. Have a look at the colour in here, the colour that's coming up here. And what it is, the colder you are, the tougher the conditions, the poorer the soil, the more colour you get. So you can grow these, and you can grow these, you know, way out in the country, and the tougher and the colder it is, the more colour, and they just grow into a beautiful round ball, about 40 or 50 centimetres tall and 40 or 50 centimetres wide, and it's called a Dwarf Nandina. great source of winter, amazing winter colour. These have been reduced from $6 to $3.99. So $3.99 for beautiful little, and they're in 3-inch pots. I'll show you one of them. That's one there. So you're getting a really good little plant. And these are great to plant as a hedge or border. So maybe you want to get 20 of these and do a great hedge or border. So Dwarf Nandina, $3.99.
Now, Chris, Svetlana has chimed in, and we've got a comment in Russian, but that's okay because I can translate. And she has said, "Beautiful." What she's saying is beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, I think the range that we've got this time is probably our best ever Grower Direct flash sale. But really, really great prices and incredible plants. Now here we've got a Yoshino cherry in a 16-inch pot, reduced from $2.99 to $209. Now this Yoshino this is when you see each year on the news that you see people riding bicycles and carrying blossoms and going through beautiful avenues of blossom, and in Japan. And this is the one that the Japanese love the most. This is their traditional Japanese, it's the Yoshino cherry, and this particular one's been grafted up high. So what it is, you can plant this and then it can spread out. You could put a seat under here, you could sit under here, you could have this as a centerpiece in your garden with a beautiful spreading flowering cherry on top, and really enjoy that Japanese style spring blossom, a Yoshino cherry, only $209 for a 6-foot grafted one here.
Chris, we had a comment on Facebook from Carlos. Would you recommend clumping bamboo to block a nosy neighbour? And I did ask Carlos where they are located, because that would help us a little bit.
Yeah, but your slender weaver bamboo, very fast growing, needs plenty of water, but really fast, tall and narrow, can grow 5 or 6 metres tall, can block that nosy neighbour right out. Yep. But you might consider other things, but in a narrow space with plenty of water, your slender weaver would be hard to beat, but there would be other alternatives. And if you came in and asked, we could help you find just the right thing to block out that nosy neighbour.
Absolutely. Now, if Carlos is in Melbourne, I would say another really good one for a nosy neighbour is Bursaria spinulosa, which is quite spiny but has lovely flowers. So we'll keep their nose on their side of the fence.
Yes, right. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Now here we've got Scleranthus biflorus lime lava, and this is a beautiful sort of. Now this is a lovely sort of, looks like moss, and you'd think that it needs to grow in the shade, but this looks like moss and it needs to grow in the sun. So if you've got a sunny spot and you want that lovely Japanesey mossy look, you can't beat your lime lava. And we've got lovely big plants, 10-inch pots. You can see, and they're at $21.99. Let me show it to you up close. So $21.99 for a beautiful big 10-inch pot of lime lava. Lime lava, 10-inch pot, $21.99. There we are.
Now, Chris, for a little bit of cultural delight here, Svetlana has said spasiba, and we say spasiba back.
Spasiba.
Spasiba.
Right, okay, so here we have for your modern garden, a Westringia ball. So this is a Westringia shaped into a beautiful topiary ball, and normally $129.99. Right now it's just $79.99, and so this gives you that really modern look. What a lot of people now are doing, balls are really fashionable, is that they'll do a couple of different coloured balls all together and make it really effective. And he could be trimmed each time and made into a bigger and bigger ball each time. And he's reduced from $129.99 to $79.99.
Chris, Jenny with Jess has said, oh, yes, please, for the lime lava. A lot of love there. And
have we got a big one of these? A nice big one?
We have had a question about deliveries to Tarneet. Do we do deliveries to Tarneet, and which days do we do deliveries to Tarneet?
Constantly. We do 2 or 3 times a week. We'd be delivering down Tarneet Way. And anyway, so we'd be down to Tarneet 2 or 3 times a week, and when you're spending over $300, it's a free delivery to Tarneet.
Beautiful.
And anyway, have a look at this beautiful plant here. This plant here I get people driving from right across town to get these, because they say that in a lot of nurseries they don't have them. But we have beautiful big ones like this, and then right at the moment, with the Foxtail Fern, we've got beautiful little ones like this for $19.99. And if you buy one of these, give it plenty of fertiliser. in 12 months it'll look like this. So foxtail fern, beautiful modern plant. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden, grow it in the full sun, grow it in the shade, and $19.99 for a beautiful 8-inch pot.
Chris, Ruler is on TikTok and has asked, hello, how much are our magnolia trees?
Right, okay, I've got magnolias starting at, depending on which ones, I've got them starting at about $20.
Okay.
So, and we've got all different sorts going up in price from there. But
we've got deciduous magnolias.
Yeah, but say a nice 8-inch pot Syringa, about 4 foot tall, $19.99. So $19.99 for a nice 4 foot Syringa magnolia, and that's the most popular magnolia in Melbourne, I think.
Interesting, that's good feedback.
Yeah, so here we've got Dichondra repens. Dichondra repens, grow it in the cracks around your paving, grow it as a lawn, grow it in the shade, grow it in the sun. Very, very versatile, beautiful ground cover, and a lot of nurseries, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 in 6-inch pot, and maybe not as healthy and good as this. This is really beautifully grown, and these we use them as a bit of a crowd puller. We do these for $2.99 at the moment. So $2.99 on our Grow Direct flash sale for Dichondra repens, $2.99.
Chris, Ruler has said, beautiful, thank you for the advice on the magnolias, and she's just saying that she will pop in, so we look forward to seeing Ruler in the nursery.
Okay, no, Syringa, 1 metre tall, $19.99.
Gorgeous.
Okay, so Dichondra Silver Falls, one of the most sought after and versatile plants. Grow it in a pot, grow it in the garden, grow it, use it as a lawn, use it as a ground cover. Here it is around paving here. So Silver Falls Dichondra, reduced from $14.99 to $10.99. So $10.99, nice full 6-inch pot. Have a look here. We'll have a look at that. So silver Dichondra, lovely and bright and silver, and $10.99. Now, most nurseries, if you went and asked for a 6-foot ficus flash, they'd ask you for a couple $100. $200, $220, $240, something like that. Here we've got a 13-inch pot, reduced from $149 to $89.99. So $89.99, under $100 for a 1.8 to 2 metre ficus flash. So ficus flash, beautiful big plants, $89.99. Hebe Emerald Green, and these are in a 7-inch pot, reduced from $22.99 to $21.99. They're beautiful plants. Look at that, $21.99, really fabulous.
Very cute.
Yeah, and if you're after something that a nice round ball that doesn't need trimming or training, easy to look after, here it is, Hebe Emerald Green, wonderful plant, and only $21.99. Now, a little while ago, hey, could you bring over a spiral so we're showing the spiral? A little while ago, somebody in Canberra said, what's the best conifer for Canberra? This is one of the best conifers for almost anywhere because it's very, very hardy, very, very versatile. It grows quickly but not too quick. It grows big but not too big. Here's one cut into a spiral here.
Oh, wow.
And this shows the versatility. And so you can cut these into a spiral, you can cut them into a cone. You can not cut them at all and just have a beautiful rocket-shaped tree, fabulous tree. And these ones here, Spartan conifer, as I said before, best conifer for Canberra, but really one of the best ones for Dubbo, Kinglake, all over the place. And your juniper Spartan conifer reduced from $29.99 to $17.99. So $17.99 for your Spartan conifer.
So if Cable Lee is still watching, Cable Lee, that's the plant that Chris recommended for Canberra.
Okay, so here we go. One of the most popular plants at the moment is your tractor seed plant. Have we got a nice big 10-inch pot of these? So we can show them a big sexy one. So here we got the tractor seed plant. Now these are sought after. They're so sought after. A lot of people have been capitalising and charging really big bucks for them. These ones here are only $14.99. This is probably the cheapest tractor seat deal around.
Also.
Yeah, you can't even get a real tractor seat, let alone a tractor seat plant for $14.99. So $14.99, great value. What's good is that really to look good with tractor seats, you might need to plant 2 or 3 or 4 of them, maybe even 5 of them. They love a spot with morning sun and afternoon shade or dappled shade or shade. But anyway, so you tractor seed down to $14.99. And here's a nice big tractor seed. Oh, it's not so good. No, we'll leave that one. Okay, so tractor seed, $14.99, great value.
Riri is on TikTok and has asked, are these indoor plants? So tractor seeds can be grown indoors.
Yes, you could use them indoors, but they're also hardy to the cold and that, and you can use them as, but they don't like the hot sun, so keep them in the shade, indoors or outdoors.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we've got Dianella Breeze. Now, maybe you're putting a place on the market, maybe you're fixing up a factory. You know, if you're after something big and green and cheap and tough and easy to grow, this is Dianella Breeze, reduced from $14.99 to $8.99. This is an enormous plant for $8.99. Look at that there, $8.99, Dianella Breeze, fabulous value. Now here we've got your Elijah Blue, beautiful blue fescue. So your Elijah Blue, fabulous blue fescue. It's unlike the seedlings, it's a neater, brighter, bluer one than the normal one. And Elijah Blue reduced from $13.99 to $6.99. So $6.99 for Elijah Blue, really cheap. You can afford to mass plant them at that price. Now for your natives, this is your native style, your native grass, and here you've got your Lomandra Tanika, the most popular ornamental plant in Australia. Let's have a look, we'll see a Lomandra Tanika in a sec there. But green and lush, there it is there, green and lush and beautiful. So Lomandra Tanika, fabulous, tough, grows about knee high, green all year round, doesn't dry up in the hot sun or anything like that, grows in almost any soil. Lomandra, and often expensive, often $15, $16. These have been reduced from $9.99 to $5.99. So $5.99 for Lomandra Tanika.
Now, Chris, we're back on TikTok where we've got some comments. Now, I know you ship almost everywhere, but you don't ship to the UK, unfortunately.
No, we don't,
We don't ship to the UK. But thanks very much for tuning in from the UK, because we enjoy having you here.
Yeah, it's interesting. We use a lot of the same plants as you would in the UK, so it would be interesting to somebody from the UK. So now we've got Anna Red Flax. Now this is, if you want to get a bit of colour in the garden, a bit of colour all year round, this is fabulous value. And these are reduced from $14.99 to $10.99, and they're beautiful big plants. Let me get one out and show you. Here it is here, look at that. Look at that there, what a beautiful plant, what a beautiful bit of colour. Now you can grow that in a pot, grow it in the garden, and it's only $8.99. So $8.99, great for that native garden. So $8.99 and a red. Oh, $10.99. Right, okay, no, it's
lucky we got Suman on the job.
Yeah, we're
now,
lucky,
Chris,
yeah.
Speaking of shipping, DJ is on TikTok and has asked, do you ship to Tasmania?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Unfortunately, the quarantine, the biosecurity measures quite tight, so sending to Tasmania and Western Australia is quite tricky.
Yeah, it's easier to send to Germany than Tasmania. Rosemary Blue Lagoon, reduced from $14.99 to $6.99. Beautiful blue flowers. I'll give you a close-up of some of these blue. So beautiful blue flowers, and these blue flowers, they're going to go from now till about October. So they're going to flower. They're just starting to flower. They're covered in buds, but have a look at that beautiful blue flower there. Yeah, they're just starting to flower now. Now these are a rosemary. You can use them in your cooking, use them in the kitchen, and they grow. Your Blue Lagoon is a ground covering one that also grows up a bit, out a bit, and down, and it'll cascade over a bit too. So it sort of grows in all directions, and it is the bluest of all rosemaries. Lovely blue foliage, lush, easy to grow, grown in the toughest, most difficult spot, and it grows fabulous. You make a most beautiful show with it. So Blue Lagoon rosemary reduced from $14.99 to $6.99. So $6.99 for beautiful Blue Lagoon rosemary.
Now, Chris, we've been talking a little bit about delivery, so I think it's probably important to mention that you do provide free delivery to people who spend over $300. And whereabouts do you deliver to?
We deliver right out to Traralgon and all over Gippsland. Anywhere this side of Traralgon, you can get it for free if you spend over $300. And then we go up to Shepparton for free, and all the towns in between, Seymour and all the places in between. Then we go out to Bendigo, we go up to Ballarat, down to Geelong, and right down as far as the Surf Coast, and we do all of that for anybody spending $300. We do it for free.
That's quite amazing value.
Right, so right now what we've got is the Weeping Lily Pilly. Now these are reduced from $30 to $19.99, but look at the size of them. I'm 6 foot and it's up to my nose, so they're real. I don't want it's up to my eyes. So nearly 6 foot tall and $19.99. So if you after a lily, and now your Weeping Lily Pilly, it doesn't have red berries that stain your carpet, stain your paving and that. It's not worried by it. We can get the odd psyllid, but the big problem with lily pillies in Melbourne is the beetle. The beetle doesn't touch this, so your lily pilly beetle doesn't eat it. So it's pretty much bug free. It's fast growing. Really, you can grow 1.5 meters a year if you look after them. So they're very, very fast growing. They trim up beautifully, and they're not worried too much by the bugs. And these are enormous. They give you a real good start. If you want to grow a 2 metre hedge, you're halfway there.
Gorgeous.
Now we've got some of these white. These are limecrete, and they're a semi-lightweight pot. Like you pick it up quite easily. So a semi-lightweight pot, great. Now what's interesting is I'm going to show you that the big feature with these is that they haven't got a hole. Have a look. There's no hole there. Look at that. No hole. No hole. Now what that means that if a bit of water, you can put that on the carpet, and if a bit of water drips out the bottom there, it's not going to get on the carpet, it's going to stay in the bottom. But I don't recommend that you water them in the pot. What I do, say I had this plant here, and I had it in the garden, and after 12 or 14 days I take it, I put it in the laundry sink, give it a good soak, let it drip dry overnight, and once it stopped dripping I'd pop it back into the pot here so that you don't end up with stagnant water in your pot. But even so, if a bit of water did come out, because there's no hole in the bottom, but what's interesting, these are on special. Now, for a nice big pot like this, you'd expect to pay $120, but we're going to give you all 3 pots for $120. So all 3 pots, $120, and we just decorated a house with these, my daughter-in-law's house with these, and the indoor. We did all these as the indoors, and she loved them because they didn't drip on the floor. But these look really, really smart in a modern design house, you know, with that particular colour and that lovely bit of texture on them. They looked really, really smart. We'll be putting out a video about it soon, but we put lots and lots of different indoor plants into this particular pot, and they looked wonderful. Decorated the whole house with them.
So the price on that trio again is $129.99.
Yeah, $129.99, which is the price you'd normally pay for 1 pot, but you're going to get 3 pots for that price.
Brilliant.
So,
well, anyone who's tuning in, watching the tour, the Giro d'Italia at the minute, will be seeing plenty of these on the roadside. Lombardy pears.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so here we have, you can get that, if you've got a country property and you want to get that Tuscan feel into it, this is a Lombardy poplar. Look at that. And these grow very, very quickly. They're very tough and grow them almost anywhere. And this is, we get a really good start with this. Normally they're you can pay in a pot, you can pay $80, $90, $100 for them. This one here, this Lombardy poplar here, is $16.99. Gives you a real good start. Plant this, keep the grass and weeds away from the bottom. Plenty of water, plenty of fertilizer. You'd have it up 5 meters in 2 years. So they grow like crazy. Fabulous tree. Lombardy poplar creates a sort of a beautiful Mediterranean feel.
Now, Christine has joined us on TikTok and has asked, how much are the plants? If Christine or anybody else is tuned into the live stream from any of our social platforms is curious about the prices, we have a flash sale. We have a link that is pinned on all of our social chats, or you can scan the QR code that's up on the screen next to Chris's head there, and you can go directly to our Growers Flash Sale web page, which lists all of the prices that are on offer today.
Now, this is for your traditional garden. If you want a bit of real colour, have a look at the colour in this. Look at the colour we've got it here. Now, this is a red maple. Now, this is the sort of maple that grows wild in northeastern USA, and it's famous for its amazing red foliage, and it colours up beautifully for weeks. Now, this red maple here, in an 8-inch pot, normally $40, is $24.99. So $24.99. It's 1.5 metres tall, $24.99. You cannot go wrong. Put it in, water and fertilise it, and this will be 2.5 metres tall 12 months from now. Fast growing, beautiful, and give you fabulous, rich red autumn colour. And then here we have one of my favourite maples. This is a Jeffers red maple, and it's been reduced from $119.99 to $79.99. Now, your Jeffers red, if you live in country that's hot, if you live in low-lying country that's hot and difficult, it might be Seymour or Shepparton or somewhere like that, and it's really, really hot country, your Jeffers red is going to, this one here is finished colouring, but if you look at the label, fantastic autumn colour. It's dropped just a week or two ago. We put out a beautiful video on these just the other week. But your Jeffers red, faster growing, tougher, stands up to the heat, grows in heavy soil, so poor soil. If you've got a hot, tough situation and you want a beautiful, fast-growing, beautifully shaped maple, you go for this one here, Jeffers red, and it performs beautiful in hot, low country. So Jeffers red maple, 12-inch pot, normally 115, is now $79.99, and it's well over 2 metres tall. So $79.99 and well over 2 metres tall, Jeffers red maple. Now, here we have the hornbeam. Now, your hornbeam is great for if you want a sort of a really English style hedge, or you want to pleach it. Look at that beautiful pleach hedge here. If you want to do something really remarkable, hornbeam, very, very tough, very beautiful. It's interesting. I remember helping my dad dig these out of the paddock when I was a kid, and he told me that in the early days of the car industry, they used to make cogs and car parts out of the hornbeam because it had such hard timber.
Wow.
So anyway, but what you can make out of it is beautiful pleach hedges, fabulous, real formal English style hedges. Really, they have fantastic autumn colours you can see here. Very hardy, very beautiful tree, tough and easy to grow. Hornbeam, make a really classic garden. These have been reduced from $39.99 to $24.99. So great for a pleached hedge. So hornbeam. Now we've got the upright hornbeam. Now these are fantastic value. These are 6 foot tall, and they're upright hornbeam, normally $59.99, now $24.99. Now these, your fastigiate hornbeam grows in the, if you want a very narrow tree, something more narrow, more tight, more compact than say a capital pear, this is your tree. Beautiful narrow tree, lovely foliage. Look down here. You can grow them as a column, or you can grow them as a hedge. You can shape them beautifully, but beautiful tall narrow tree. Very, very tight, very nice. Lovely autumn colour. So fastigiate hornbeam, and they're only $24.99. Now this might look like a stick to everyone here, but this is no ordinary stick. This is a sunburst Gleditsia. Now sunburst Gleditsias have been hard to get the last couple of years, and they've been expensive. You know, a nice big one in a pot, 2 metre one in a pot, you expect to pay well over $100 for it, possibly even $200. And we've got it here for $39.99. So $39.99, and this is a tree that has no suckers, very hardy, easy to grow tree, no suckers. Yeah, and beautiful fine foliage, golden foliage, very, very hardy, loves a hot sunny spot, really wonderful tree. And here you've got one 2 metres tall for $39.99. So sunburst, and what it is, it's bare rooted, and that's the thing. We've just started this week with bare rooted plants. We've got bare rooted roses, and bare-rooted trees. And over the next few weeks, you'll see a big range of bare-rooted trees coming in.
And that's definitely one of the most handsome Gleditsias on the market.
Yes,
Yeah.
it certainly is. Now here we have probably the all-time classic magnolia. If you want a deciduous magnolia, this is the most sought after one next to your Syringa, which we talked about before. This is a grafted one. We shot this video here this spring, and it's the most beautiful tulip-like flowers. It's called a black tulip one, and it's a real tulip-like flower. And what's good about this particular one, it's rare, it's sought after, but best of all, it's not a big one. Like some of your magnolias go absolutely enormous. This is quite a compact one. It's called a black tulip magnolia, reduced from $189.99 to $99. $99, this is a grafted magnolia. $99 is a great price, and this has got some lovely buds on it. So if you were to buy this one here, you could expect to have some beautiful purple tulip-like flowers, or blacky purple ones in springtime. Now here we have the Photinia robusta in an 8-inch pot. Now this is probably one of Victoria's, and been for the last 60 or 70 years, it's been one of Victoria's most popular evergreen, fast-growing hedges. Now if you put these in, watered and fertilised and looked after them, you could grow this into a 2-metre hedge in 1 year. You'd put them in about 1 metre apart, heaps of water, heaps of fertiliser, control the grass and weeds, 2-metre hedge in a year. And this one here, reduced from, I think they're normally about $24.99, and it's been reduced to $12.99. So $12.99 for a Photinia robusta. So $12.99, 8-inch pot Photinia robusta.
Now, Chris, we have had a question on TikTok. Do we also sell neem trees? Now, neem trees are a tropical tree.
But you know, I've found 2 or 3 of them growing in Melbourne. They can be grown in Melbourne. I haven't got round to it yet.
Right. Well, interesting, because I think neem are grown for the pesticidal qualities.
Yeah, they're very good. A lot of Indian people really enjoy them. That's actually some videos there we took of the Manchurian pear. But yeah, people, it's used for health for the Indian people, plus they're used in agriculture to control bugs. And quite a few of the bulb growers are using them to control little underground bugs that are hard to control. Now here I've got a Manchurian pear, and there's your Manchurian pear in spring blossom. Now, we had the capital pear before. That's a tall, skinny pear. The Manchurian pear is a beautiful spreading pear. So if you want a beautiful spreading pear, that's it, the Manchurian pear. Now, what you can do with the Manchurian pear, it's also the very best pear, because the branches, you see, they come out horizontally. It's the best pear for pleaching. So if you want to make a beautiful pleached hedge out of ornamental pears, and they really make a lovely hedge, and it's a lovely hedge that'll lose its leaves, but if you want to grow a pleached hedge, your Manchurian pear is the best one for pleaching. And that's really why I put them on, because in the formal garden, your Manchurian pear can pleach up beautifully. So Pyrus Manchurian pear, great for pleaching. And these ones here are a good 2 metres tall, and only $39.99. So $39.99, 2 metre tall Manchurian pear, great for pleaching. And they're bare rooted, because we're back into the bare rooted season. Now what we've got is the Pittosporum Silver Sheen. Now your Pittosporum Silver Sheen, that is, I believe, the best Pittosporum, the best small leaf Pittosporum on the market. It's fast growing, it doesn't get many diseases or bugs. Very fast, very tough, very reliable, cuts beautifully, makes a beautiful hedge. And these ones here reduce from $12.99 to $7.99. Now if you put these in and really look after them, you could have them up my height in 12 months. You want to dig a nice big hole, plant them up high in the hole, plenty of loose soil underneath. Don't tease the roots. These ones hate when their roots tease, but basically you could have these could be up my height in 12 months, and these are your Silver Sheen, and they're only $7.99.
So we've reached the end of what has been a 2-hour stream today. Before we go, a few important reminders. If you want to pick up any of the amazing bargains that Chris has been talking about today, you can click the link that's been pinned to the top of any of our social chats today, or you could scan the QR code next to Chris up on the screen, so that you can place your order before those favourite plants of yours sell out. All the prices today are exclusive to this live stream. They are unbeatable value for gardeners looking to refresh their gardens for less money. If you have any questions, our sales team is happy to help. Our telephone number is 03 9359 3331. Don't forget, we will be back next Monday with our weekly Q&A live stream. So tune in if you have any questions about plant care, garden tips, or what to plant next. And mark your calendar, our next Growers Direct Flash Sale will be on next Saturday, the same time, the same place, with a brand new theme and some even more amazing deals.
Yeah, so next Saturday, and today, what we're going to do in the next few minutes, we'll put this up so you'll be able to watch it again. Whereabouts does this go up?
We are up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah, and we're going to put it back up on. Is it on YouTube now that it goes back up on? Yeah, so on YouTube. So if there was something that you weren't quite sure about, you want to catch it again, you want to go through these specials again, or you want to work out, you can go and study it on YouTube, or you can go to our website hellohello.com.au, and it's all up there on a page. You can scan that QR code to get there quickly. So basically you can go there, or you can just come down to the store and check it all out. We've got them all set, all these different specials all set out and priced and everything like that, and come down here and get in first. So really, now's the time to, these specials are only available for the next 7 days or until they're sold out, and some of them will be sold out probably by tonight, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon. So thank you so much for spending your time with us today. It's been a great session. We've had a lot of great questions and a lot of great people from all over the world.
Yeah, and really good compliments too.
Absolutely. And thanks very much to Jennifer, Mickey, Suman, and the team. Pardon? Des. Oh, and Tez. I'm sorry, I missed Tez. Sorry.
And Jody.
Yeah. Thanks very much for all the help, pulling out all those massive plants that we had to show off. And happy gardening. We'll see you next week, either in store or back here for your next live stream.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Woo!
See you later.